Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
It's a good time to be a conspiracy theorist.
It's a good time to be a conspiracy theorist.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Neil, I got to say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
That's what I do. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
You are a parasite, a bottom feeder. This is what you are.
That stuff is flat.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Like vaccines are God's gift to the world. Let us not question anything about them. You cannot do wrong by getting as many vaccines as we can pump out into as many people as we can find, including children. Oh. And that is just so stupid. It is so unscientific, and it's just wrong. Follow the science.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
The news is fake. The public isn't, they read newspapers, they see television, they watch. They don't know if it's true or false because they're not involved. It's all fake news. It's all fake news.
You are a parasite, a bottom feeder. This is what you are.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Why do the pedophiles care about lesbians, bisexuals, homosexuals, and transgenders? If I am a pedophile, I don't want to go to jail. I'm a celebrity, I'm famous. Ritualistic sex is what we do with kids. It's part of our demonic culture. I want pedophilia to become normal. I want it stricken from the criminal code altogether. I'm going to push LGBTQ because if a child is old enough to decide I never want to have children, take my testicles, take my ovaries. If an 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old child is old enough to make those three decisions, how can you argue that they're not old enough to decide to have sex? The argument of the pedophile is going to be backed up by this LGBT crusade against our children because in their sick minds, they are rationalizing the argument before the courts. If he's old enough to say, I don't want my testicles, if she's old enough to say, I never want to have children, if he's old enough to say, I want to live my life as a girl, if she's old enough to say, I want to live a life as a boy and I don't care about having kids, and she can say this at 12, is she not also old enough to decide when she's ready to have sex? That is going to be the argument that the pedophiles are going to take into court. LGBTQ is the mask the pedophile movement wears to get their agenda pushed.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Potentially hundreds of military employees and contractors who may have bought child pornography online but haven't been prosecuted or even in some cases investigated. That's right, you heard me, child pornography. As many as 1,700 names, according to a U.S. Senator, on a list of 5,200 from an internet sting operation overlooked the first time around 4 years ago. Only now are they supposedly getting a second look, and only after pressure from investigative reporters and the U.S. Senator you're about to hear from, Republican Charles Grassley. Pentagon porn story began in 2006. An Immigration and Customs Enforcement child pornography sting operation called Project Flicker produced payment records of about 5,200 people, many of whom provided Army or fleet zip codes or military email addresses. According to DCIS documents revealed in a Freedom of Information Act request, Out of that 3,500, investigators uncovered 264 employees or contractors, including staffers for the Secretary of Defense and contractors at the NSA. 9 people had top security clearances, but only about 20% of those 264 people were completely investigated. Fewer still were prosecuted, and after about 8 months, the entire probe was halted. It left about 1,700 names totally unchecked, 1,700 alleged kiddie porn customers, an unknown number of whom may still work in some capacity for the Defense Department.
The Defense Department releasing brand new details into an investigation involving child pornography and dozens of its workers and contractors, some with top-level security clearance. Not only are these very serious accusations, but investigators say some of the people involved were handling the nation's most sensitive secrets, potentially making this a matter of national security. Chief Fox Report correspondent Jonathan Hunt with the news. Appalling story, Jonathan. Do we know more about these people and their security clearances?
Well, we don't know their exact job titles, John, but what we do know is that they did appear to have been working, some of them at high levels, across a range of government agencies. Take a look at this, for instance, the National Security Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, and the very secretive Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Others also worked on actual military installations, including Edwards Air Force Base in California and also the California-based Naval Air Warfare Center. So they had access to military secrets in some cases and military hardware, John.
Are all these suspects under arrest?
They're not all under arrest. We got 94 pages of investigative material from the Defense Department today, including dozens of specific individuals. They have not all been arrested, though. Some have been tried, some have been sentenced, but the cases simply fell apart because of lack of evidence. And legal experts tell us it is always very difficult to prosecute child porn cases, not least because it's difficult to prove who exactly was on any given computer. Listen.
Who has the password? Who has the identification to get into that? Was it you who opened the computer and I went on it? Those are very difficult aspects in prosecuting. Then there's finding the victims. Are they abused victims? Are they underage? Did they appear overage? You know, there's a lot of difficulties built right into child pornography cases.
But Josh Hanshaft also told me it is imperative that the government find a way to prosecute in these cases because they are so important and so disturbing.
And this isn't just about workers committing crime.
No, it's not. The big fear here is that there is a possibility that these people open themselves to blackmail by a foreign power that wants to get information about our military secrets, or even terrorists. So the Defense Department is very concerned. It says they are taking all of these cases very seriously indeed, John.
I bet they are, John.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Brian Cox was here the other day, and he tried to explain
The guy from
quantum.
CERN?
Yes,
Okay.
Trying to explain quantum computers for me. They're so insanely
John,
powerful.
the guy from CERN?
Yes, they're so insanely powerful that they don't even understand what they're doing. They think that they're pulling information from different universes simultaneously.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's the multi-world theory of quantum computing. They've showed that they can create wormholes. There's evidence in quantum computing of wormholes.
You believe that for real?
Yes.
Wait. So
They're
the
full
quantum
of
computer
shit.
is picking up information.
They're full of
It's from
shit.
like different dimensions.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
You're hearing a lot about seed oils. Why should people be worried about these kind of products?
Seed oils are one of the most unhealthy ingredients that we have in foods. And the reason they're in the foods is because they're heavily subsidized. They're very, very cheap, but they are associated with all kinds of very, very serious illnesses, including body-wide inflammation.
Right.
Which affects all of our health. It's one of the worst things you can eat, and it's almost impossible to avoid. If you eat any processed food, you're going to be eating seed oil.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
There's cities underground, there's warehouses underground, There's actual homes underground. People build these tunnels, and they've built them for decades. There's a lot of elite celebrities. They go down there for parties.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
The germ theory is complete BS. They injected people with all kinds of germs and they never got sick. Hundreds or thousands of people. That doesn't even work. A virus doesn't even exist. What they call a virus is a detoxification process. If the cell is toxic, it cleanses itself. It builds it back, throws it back out so that it gets out of the cell. Modern medicine looks at this, or the scientist, and says, oh, there's all these bags. What are all these bags? And now we are doctors, we need to know what they are. So if we tell them we don't know what they are, they don't believe us anymore. So we come up with something and say that's a virus, which of course we know it means poison. Of course it's poison because the cell just detoxified itself. What is bacteria eating? Bacteria is eating the decay. That's why they put maggots on, in the olden days, on open wounds, because the maggots only eat the decay. They don't eat the healthy flesh. The flu or the cold is nothing else, detoxification.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we've actually, truthfully, never in the history of America ever given out more degrees and have never, and yet paradoxically have never produced dumber kids. And I'm talking about like literally the kids are dumber than they've ever been. Matt Walsh, my former colleague, did this thing where he read to his audience a letter written by a Civil War soldier who had no formal education.
Oh.
It's like poetry.
Yeah, I'm
right.
sure.
And the
Yeah.
average kid today cannot do that. So that's why I say we're actually in the dark ages. All they're doing is inflating people's egos and making them dumber and dumber and dumber.
What country is the Queen of England from?
What country? Canada.
Do you know what time this is?
5, 10, 15, 20, 2:45.
Do you know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Country?
Yeah.
Japanese.
Do you know what 15% of 100 is?
Probably like 75.
Do you know what the third month of each year is?
Ain't that leap year or some shit?
Can you name all the months?
September, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August.
Do you know what year the U.S. was founded?
I'm gonna say BC. I'm gonna keep it at BC era. 1800s?
BC?
Yeah.
How many moons does the Earth have?
30? I don't know.
Do you know what 33 divided by 3 is?
No, I don't know.
Give me a guess, a number, around what?
I don't know. 5?
Do you know what two countries border the USA?
Isn't the North Pole below us?
Yeah.
What is above us? Is it Europe?
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Now, first off, the fact that you don't know much history isn't your fault. You live in the United States, where the schools stopped doing that whole teaching facts thing a while ago.
There's been another way of thinking about what actually went on that's maybe somewhat less cartoonish, but
it is cartoonish. The way we learn history is very cartoonish. Good guy, bad guy, no in between.
That's why one of my
good guy always wins.
One of my favorite Norm Macdonald jokes is, says here in this history book that the good guys won every single war. I mean, what are the odds? You know, so there is a bit of that, but I would say between World War II, and I know you're not supposed to, I get that you're not supposed to say these things, I know, but we specialize in this. Between that and the so-called Civil War, these are like the two creation myths of the modern American regime. And so that's why you have to accept the cartoon version.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
The biggest mistake I ever made as a parent, in my opinion, was letting my children go to public school. The second biggest mistake was letting them go to a school at all. The purpose of school is to manufacture employees for businesses. It's not to teach your children to be smart.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Why are you sitting in your chair today? Does gravity pull you to the floor? No, there is no such thing as gravitational pull. We lied to you.
You are a parasite, a bottom feeder. This is what you are.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Antifreeze in Burger King soft serve? What? One of the ingredients here is propylene glycol monoester. And here is how highly processed this single ingredient is. It starts its life as petroleum or natural gas. Then they chemically alter it to propylene glycol, which is the active ingredient in antifreeze. Then they chemically modify it again because it wasn't enough. They add a fatty acid to it, probably the lowest, crappiest, nastiest fat. They tie it to it, and then it becomes an emulsifier in your ice cream. Now, it's generally recognized as safe, but how do you think our body breaks down this lab-made synthetic abomination? The crazy thing, this is just one ingredient of 15 highly processed trash ingredients in this. If you want to do the dose make the poison and go for it, by all means, but I'm gonna skip this trash.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Now the claims are getting even more bizarre. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a congresswoman of Georgia, is now saying the federal government is literally controlling the weather. We're controlling the weather. It's beyond ridiculous.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
It's false. No way. We created it. No. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication.
You are a parasite, a bottom feeder. This is what you are.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time, and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom.
You are a parasite, a bottom feeder. This is what you are.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Giveaway.
Thank you.
Imagine a population so brainwashed that you could convince them to be terrified of a virus that they've never seen, while spraying them daily in broad daylight in the sky, only for them to deny it's happening to them because no one on TV told them it was.
Good day. I just have to pull over and show you this. This is the sky.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
We have a clockwork mechanism that will ring the bell, but we've pumped out all the air from this bell jar, and so when I start it running, you won't be able to hear it. You can see the hammer hitting the bell. It's got a life of its own, this plunger. I've got to hold on to it. But you can see it striking the bell, but because there's no air inside, you can't hear it. Now I'm going to let the air in. And as we let the air in, now I think you can hear the bell quite clearly. And that's a very nice experiment to demonstrate how air is needed for the transmission of sound.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
All right, tell me your name.
Ruth Heath,
Ruth, and how old are you today?
102,
102. So you were born in
1918.
1918. And we were just talking, and I asked you what shape the Earth is, and what did you say? What were you taught in school in elementary school?
I was taught in school that the Earth was flat.
And then what do you remember when they changed it to a globe?
Well, when they changed it, I remember when they changed it, but I can't remember the date or anything like that.
And did you believe them?
Yes, I did.
You did. Now,
I was young.
Right, and we all were told by people that we trust.
That's right.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Unlike what we've been told in school, the Earth looks like a snow globe, round but not sphere. The North Pole is at the center of most flat Earth maps, with the ice of Antarctica holding everything in.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
It's all fake news. It's all fake news.
Yo, something a lot of quote-unquote truthers fail to realize is that they want you to stare into the conspiracy abyss. They want you looking into all these different topics day in and day out, so you never do shit to change your immediate life. Like, they have their time and place, but if you're not happy with where you're at, and you keep looking into all these different topics as a form of disassociation, so you can victim blame, have a scarcity-based mindset, point the finger and externalize all your problems, you're exactly where they want you to be, my friend. So I don't give a fuck you know about the Jesuits, the Freemasons, the Zionists, the Committee of 300, the NASA deception, the Tavistock Institute, and so on. If what you're studying is not immediately enhancing and improving your life, it's time to find a new subject.
I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy.
Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist by now, it's because you are not intelligent. I am not kidding.